Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 14th. It is 5:55 right now. We got market opening up in about 30 minutes. I'll be taking this first entry for the algo at 6 o'clock. I think we're looking for a buy here. Let me just confirm a couple of things here real quick. Um, sorry, I'm doing some stuff behind the scenes right here. Apex wants me to post videos, so I gotta record my Ninja Trader over here.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so the Ninja Trader is recording. Um, all right, so that's good. I think else I'm gonna record here on my main computer. There we go. So it looks like we're good there. But all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 14th. It is 5:56 right now. It's about 4 minutes till 6 o'clock. Our direction over here for the 6 o'clock entry, we're going to be looking for a possible buy, I believe. Let me just copy my list over here of trades for the day. All right, so if you guys are in the premium, I posted this in the list. As you guys can see from the algo group, I posted all my trades here. So I changed it up a little bit. I'm only trading like between 6 and 8 o'clock, so that's the only ones that I'm looking for. And I'm only really taking the ones with like 40/20. So that's all I focused on. Before we had a bigger list, but for the most part, everyone else has the algo now, so they're doing their own list. But for me specifically, I'm looking for these trades around like 6 o'clock and whatnot. So looking over here at 6 o'clock, this entry has a 75% win ratio. It's my target entry. It has a 87.50% win ratio for buys. It won 3 out of 3 previous Tuesdays. So if I'm going to be taking this trade here, I'm looking for a possible buy. It's supposed to be against momentum. Right now, it is currently a buy for momentum. So if this here becomes, if it's a sell entry, I don't know if I'll take this entry here. I mean, the entry is not horrible, but I think I want to go with a higher probability. So with the 6 o'clock entry, the volatility here is pretty low. As you guys can see, it's kind of like it's barely even moving. Um, but I might sit out of this entry if it's not a buy. So let's see this here so far. Morning Ryan, morning Ben, morning Daniel, morning Lila. The win ratio for sells are still pretty decent. It's like 62.50. So it's not horrible. Like it's not going to be, it's not the end of the world. The thing is I have a lot of different entries here. So I don't need to get in at 6 o'clock. I mean, I'd like to, but it's not looking like the entry is going to line up for a buy here. If you guys want to take it, I mean, feel free to take it. I'll probably mark it up for you guys. Before I was kind of taking all of the 6 o'clock entries, but Um, I think I want to stick to like whatever is like the highest probability. So right now it's looking like it's going to be a sell entry or the 6 o'clock. If you guys want to take it again, I don't think I'm going to take it here because I don't like how market's been moving pre-market. Um, like the thing is I don't want to be hanging on to this position for too long. But yeah, if you guys want to take the entry here, it looks like it is going to be a sell entry. It has a pretty high win ratio. I mean, honestly, it's not horrible. It's pretty good. It's just the sells here aren't like super great when it comes down to this over here. Mudbrick said, "Can I get access to the Zoom?" Yeah, sure. So let me. What was your username again? Frederick, right? Where are you at? Okay, I got you right here. All right, Mudbrick. Yeah, check out the Discord now. You should have access to the premium on there. Mudbrick. Roosevelt. I forget. Yeah, I forget what your real name is, but yeah, you have access to it now, bro. Just go on the Discord and you should be able to see it there. Or I'll message you actually so you can. I'll actually send you the link right now. There you go, bro. I sent it over to you. All right, guys, direction for the 6 o'clock entry is going to be a sell. Again, if you guys want to take it, feel free to take it. I'm not going to take it here because it doesn't meet my criteria. I was aiming for a buy. The sell here could probably still hit. The sell still hits 62.50% of the time, but it's not as quality as a buy here. So obviously, I wanted to take a buy here. I'm having a little bit of a bias when it comes down to the numbers here because I do want to trade the trades that are obviously highly likely to hit. So if you guys want to take the trade there, it is currently running for a short. But I was looking for a buy here. You can see it pretty much the night before. I plan out my entries ahead of time, right? So over here, 6 o'clock, I said I'm aiming for a buy. It was not a buy here, so I'm skipping out on this entry. Obviously, I'd like it to still hit, but you can see our price is pushing up, and it was probably a good decision that I skipped out on it because it looks like it is pushing up higher. So I didn't take this entry right here. Um, and looks like I made a good call. Okay, perfect. So no entry right there for me for the 6 o'clock. Like I said, I was looking for the buy here. Let me go to see the next one here. The next one is 601. Same thing. For 601, it would be I also would want to take a buy here, but it's going to be a sell for it. So we're pretty much not taking any entries over here for 6 o'clock or 601. The next entry that I have coming up is going to be over here at 627. 627 isn't it's not one of my target entries. It has basically a split ratio. It has a 62.50% win ratio, and it split both ways down the middle. So the next entry that I'm really going to look to take here is going to be at 635, it looks like. Yeah. So right after market open. So again, if you guys are new here, for the algo, I have my list of trades here. I post it in the premium group pretty much every evening. So last night I put all of my trades over here. And basically I put my direction. So for that 6 o'clock entry, it was against momentum, meaning going opposite of it. It had a 75% win ratio. My target for it was 40 points. My stop loss was 20. The buys had an 87.50% win ratio. It won pretty much majority of the Tuesdays, all three out of three previous Tuesdays. And I was aiming to take a buy. It was a sell entry, so I decided not to take it. The 601 entry, same thing. Had a 62.50% win ratio, 2040 stop loss TP. This is again one of my target entries. It had 85.71% probability for buys. It won three out of three recent Tuesdays, but again, I was only looking for a buy here. Trader was for a sell, so it did not meet my criteria. See, if the buy here came up, this would have been a pretty nice entry. 6 o'clock was right here. See, this would have been the buy entry. Unfortunately, it just did not meet my criteria because the statistics over here was for against momentum. If it was for momentum, great, but it wasn't. So my next opportunity for entry is going to be right here at 635. There's another one right here at 627. It's going to be with momentum. The criteria just isn't high enough for me. So at 62.50, I typically want it to be above 65. I want to have a pretty high probability when I take these trades here. So let me go over here real quick. Yeah, the next one that's coming up is going to be at 627. Not one that I'm personally looking to take, but I'll pull it up here so we can pull up the data. So the buy right there would have been pretty nice. Fortunately, just didn't meet that criteria there. Let's see. Drew's asking, hey, Sean, how do you determine the trend to know which directions are with or against? So I don't use the trend at all. I just go off the data. So I choose the direction right here. It's not the trend. It's based off momentum. It's the momentum indicator. Because we don't really care what the trend is, right? The trend could be bearish, could be bullish. Like, for example, I'll turn on the pivots over here. Like the trend over here could be bearish and you could still take the buy because we're not trading off the trend, right? The trend is it's laggy, right? Because we're trading on the 1 minute. So we don't care about the trend really that much. We care about where momentum's pushing it. So I don't use the trend. If you want to use the trend, you can. I mean, you can use the pivots. price is below the pivots, you can be in a bearish trend. If price is above the pivots, you can be in a bullish trend. But the thing is, like, the momentum is not going to align with the pivots most of the time. Because a lot of times, for example, this entry over here was against momentum, right? So you basically would be counter trend trading in that sense. So yeah, if you want to use that as a filter, you could use it. I personally don't like using it because, like I mentioned, it's laggy. So it's a lot of times your entry's not going to line up with the pivots. If you want to be very careful though, you can add it there. It'll just be one of your filters. Let's see. Let's check the news for today. I don't think there's really much news here. Um, we got we got Powell speaking later at 9:20 today, I believe. Yeah. So we got Powell speaking later today. And it's gonna be later in the session, so it's probably not gonna affect our trades, but he is speaking later today. Any updates? Not really. Big bank earnings, Broadcom's open AI chip deal, record high car prices, etc. Okay, cool. So nothing here really too much. Again, the 6 o'clock entry, guys, if I was to take it, it would have been a buy. It looks like if we did take it for a buy, it would have been playing out pretty nice right now. The next entry that I have lining up is going to be at 627. So at 627, the overall profitability for or probability of it is 62.50%. Looking at the trade analysis, it's pretty much down the middle. It's 62.50% for buys and for sells. So if you guys want to take this next entry over here at 627, I mean, you guys can. The problem with this entry right here, so I was a little tempted to take this. The problem is that you'll have basically 2 minutes for it to hit until it reaches market open, right? 6:30, where there's going to be manipulation. So the 627 is definitely not going to be an entry that I'm looking to take. The next one that I may be looking to take is at 625 or sorry, 635. At 635 right here, and let me pull up the Discord, it's probably easier to see here. So at 635, it's going to be with momentum. It has a 68.75% win ratio. It has a 20-point stop loss, 40-point TP for a 1 to 2 risk reward. It's one of my target entries. It has 80% probability of wins for sells, and it won 3 out of the 3 recent Tuesdays. So if I'm going to take this trade, I'm aiming for a sell. So the next possible entry for me is going to be at 635 right there. And CERN was in a buy already due to the 15-minute. Nice work, CERN. Okay, cool. So CERN's already actually been in the position. So a lot of you guys have been kind of playing around with the settings. I mean, you guys can change the settings to whatever you want, right? If you want to trade on a different time frame, you can do that. If you want to trade at a different time period, you can do that. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So it's pretty cool that you guys are playing around with the algo and figuring out your own edges. Because there's an edge everywhere, right? You just got to figure out where your probabilities lie in your favor. Yeah, so this would have been a nice entry here. I wanted to take this entry at 6 o'clock. It was for a sell though, and I was looking for a buy. But the trade there did push through and it hit the 40 points. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. We don't really have much until later. Yeah, we don't got much till later. So here's the thing. If the entry at 635 doesn't fill, there's another opportunity at 636, another one at 638, and then another one at 647. 647 is going to be my next target entry. Here's one that's a little tricky. So looking over here at the 647, it doesn't have a super high win rate overall. So it has a 56.25% probability of it winning. With a 1 to 2 risk reward 2040 target entry right here. The wins have a 85.71% probability of it hitting, and it won 2 out of the 3 recent Tuesdays. So for 647, although it doesn't have a very high overall probability, it has a pretty good probability for sells. So what I've been doing lately, guys, is I don't really use a scanner here anymore because I know I only trade between 6 and 8. All I do is I go down every single minute. In a sense, it takes a little bit longer, like for just one set, but I'm focusing just on one, risk reward, so it doesn't really make a difference for me. It's kind of just going down the minute So that's how it would be. CJ's asking, wouldn't the 6 a.m. trade be a loss? Yes, that's why I said I only was going to take it if it was a buy, CJ. That's why I didn't take it. So yeah, it would have been a loss. That's why I didn't take it because I was aiming for a buy, but I said if it was a buy, it would have hit. That's why it's not counted. So every night, guys, I predetermine my entry times and I predetermine my direction. So like, back with what CJ said, this trade over here would have been a sell because it's against momentum, but I was aiming for a buy. That's why I decided to skip out on it. Same with the 601 entry, same thing. It had a pretty nice win ratio. But the win ratio for the buys were obviously higher. So I was aiming for buys only. That's why this trade here didn't count, and this is why I decided not to take it. Yeah, no, CJ said I saw your TP stop loss box, thought I missed something. No, we were just tracking it for a buy because we were already looking for a buy, so I just wanted to see if it would have pushed in that direction. Unfortunately, the momentum here was not going that way. There's another way of doing it too. So if you don't want to go based off the momentum, you can just go off the direction of the data, right? I personally wouldn't recommend it, but you can do that if that's the case. The thing is, you want to have some sort of catalyst to know which direction you're trading, not just taking random trades for buys or sells. Yeah, because all of the data here is based off the momentum signals. So again, I don't have any entries here right now, guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. These are my entries for the day. Um, The next one coming up is going to be at 6:27. The problem with this is that it's going to be 2 minutes away from market open. So the trade's probably not going to hit right away. And if you do take this trade, you're probably going to get, or I mean, it could probably hit. Here, let's check. 6:27. Let's check the times of it hitting. So a lot of times this trade hits within a minute, it looks like. So this trade over here, entry happened at 6:28, of course, and then it exited a minute later at 6:29. So a lot of times these entries, they're either going to hit right away within a minute, or it's going to hit immediately on open. Looking at the historical data over here, looks like it won. So it lost last Tuesday. It won the Tuesday before that, and then it won the Tuesday before that. So it won 2 out of the 3 Tuesdays. The only downside here is that it's equal between buys and sells. So it's a little tricky. And the win ratio is not high enough for me. I like it to be above 65. So if you guys want to take this trade here at 6:27, this is probably going to hit right away. You're going to have like a minute or two of trade time holding. And then the next one I'm going to look to take is going to be right here at 6:35. So 6:35 or 6:36, 6:38 as well. The win ratio is okay, but it's not great. Right? These are not my target entries. My target entry is going to be at 6:47, which should be down here. So basically, I'm looking for trades that have higher than a 65% win ratio, ideally above 80, yeah, if we're aiming for direction. So yeah, there's a couple entries right here. These entries aren't very strong though. So 635 is going to be good, but 636, not so much. I'm not going to take that one. So these are going to be my main two entries that I'll probably be looking to take, 635 or 647. For 635, I'll be looking for possible sell. For 647, I'll be looking for possible sell as well. And then later today at 7-Eleven, there's another opportunity right here. At 7-Eleven, it's going to be against momentum, 62.50 overall win ratio. So probability of 62.50 overall. Probability of 72.73 for a sell. It won 3 out of the 3 previous Tuesdays, so I'll be looking to take a sell there if it does come up. One after that's going to be at 733. So I basically I predetermined all my trades here. I predetermined my trades and my direction. And then the last one over here at 741 or 51, sorry. There you go. So basically, wherever these blue lines are, those are my target entry points. We'll kind of just, I mean, we're basically just going to wait for that there to kind of play through. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. So let's see. Yeah, there's not much else here right now. So we're basically going to hang tight until market open. I was really hoping to get the 6 o'clock entry here, but unfortunately, it didn't meet the criteria. It's a good thing we skipped out on it though, because obviously, if we went with the opposite direction of momentum, it wouldn't have played through. All right, so now that we have this here, let's take a look at the overall bias of the market. So looking over here on the 1 minute, you can see price is currently above the pivots. The trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the 5 minute, price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red and the pivots are angling down. 15 minute over here, price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. Looking over here on the 15, same thing, price is below the pivots. The trend meter is blue, pivots are angling down. Same with the 1 hour and same with the 4 hour. So overall, we have a bearish bias with regard to overall trend, right? The only trend here, which is bullish, is going to be the 1 minute. 1 minute's not that strong, so I wouldn't base everything off that. Everything else over here, though, is aiming towards the downside. So pretty much every time frame except the 1 minute is bearish. So overall trend right now is going to be bearish. Now looking over here at the overall market structure, the first minute, or let's see, 1 minute over here is currently bullish. 5 minutes neutral, 15 minutes bullish, 30 minutes bearish, 1 hour is neutral, and the 4 hour is bearish. So with that being said, it's just like the trend right now. It's currently it's mixed. It's mixed, but mostly bearish. The only time frame here that's really bullish is going to be the 1 minute. The 15 minute is looking like it's shifting to bullish, but I don't think it's not that strong. It's not as strong as it might seem. So looking over here on the breakout chart, the breakout looks like it's probably going to be a sell entry, possibly. Yeah, it looks like it's possibly going to be a sell entry here. All right, so we'll see what happens here. The probability for this isn't, let's see. I mean, the probability is still profitable. It's going to be like 42, 47. Let me see what it looks like over here on the against momentum. This is if you're doing a 50-50. So yeah, it looks like it could be pretty decent here. Let's see. Nick said, I skipped my entry. I suspected sideways market doesn't work for me, but my moves are bigger. Yeah. So looks like Nick over here also skipped his entry for the day. It's all good. If it doesn't meet your criteria, it's better to skip it than to force it. But we are waiting here. Let's see. Sam said pre-market ATR 15 minute or 15 points. Yeah, the ATR has been kind of spotty pre-market. I mean, it's actually pretty high. 15 points is pretty high compared to usually it's below 10. Right now it's kind of normal. It's at 13. I don't know if anybody's looking for any earlier entries, but my next setup's gonna be right here at 635. I think it's really important that you guys have your setups over here lined up before the trading day. So you're not scrambling to figure out what you're going to get into, if you're going to get into it or whatnot. Like we talked about, all these trades are based off probabilities. So we're not really using price action. We're not using technical analysis. If you guys want to use it as a filter, you guys are more than welcome to, but you don't want to overfit your strategy or else you're just not going to have any entries in a sense. So. Yeah, we'll follow through. I'll keep updating my algo over here as price, continues to move along. Again, the next entry on the list right here is going to be at 627. It has a 62.50% win ratio overall and a 62.50% win ratio for both buys and sells. It won 2 out of 3 recent Tuesdays. Only problem with this entry here is that it's going to be right before market open. So it's going to hit either within a minute or it's going to hit immediately on market open. It's going to be with momentum. So just something to keep in mind there. So the next follow-up entry right here is going to be right here at 627. It's not one of my target entries, but the statistics are, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're okay. Let's see. Sam said I let it spike up and see a sell setup. Yeah, possibly here. I'll go over here and mark up market structure. So let's go over here to our clean chart or our main chart actually, where all of our tools are at. Again, I don't really use price action or technical analysis for my entries, but I'll mark this up just so that you guys can kind of see where, where structure is currently sitting. Because it's still important to know where things are sitting, right? Even though you're not using them specifically for you guys. So let me go ahead and mark up liquidity over here. It doesn't hurt to have analysis of the market just to kind of have an idea of like where price is going, where it's likely to go. Again, it's just another confluence here to have. Gone down to the 4 hour. Two hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, and back down to the 1 minute here. All right, so I've marked up liquidity over here, guys. Closest level of liquidity above is at 45,990. Closest level of liquidity below. This isn't really established yet. The next one's going to be down here at 45,798. So we basically got these two levels of liquidity right here. This might be like a pretty big range. This liquidity is probably going to get knocked out. Yeah, it's not established yet. So the real levels of liquidity are right here at this higher high and this lower low price is kind of just going back and forth between this area. Let me mark up market structure real quick. Again, I'm not really using price action or technical analysis, but I'm doing this here mainly for you guys, for those of you who still want to look at, market structure and whatnot, because there's nothing wrong with using market structure. It's just another way of trading. Um, for me personally, I just like to go off the data now, so I don't really like to use the information, but it's just good to have. So we got a resistance up here. I'm not drawing random boxes. I have a different chart here with my boxes lined up. And I just have the levels here marked up as aligned with this current chart. Then we have a support level down here. And then we got a couple imbalances here. I'll mark up the imbalance a little later, but it's just not really necessary right now because we have because price will probably break through these areas. So anyways, here is our main chart. You guys can see our price is kind of just ranging around this area. The entry that we talked about earlier is going to be right here at 627. It's going to be with momentum. So right here, if you want to take it, you want to aim for, I mean, you don't really care which direction because they're equal, but it's going to be with momentum. So right here for the 627 entry, it's probably going to be a sell because we have a sell momentum right there. If you guys want to take it again, take it at your own risk. Like I said earlier, I would have taken this entry if it wasn't right at open, but this trade's going to hit either within a minute or right at market open. We look back at the historical data over here. It usually hits at 629 or 630. So it's going to hit right away, whether it's going to hit for a win or whether it's going to hit for a loss. So if you guys want to take that trade right there, just take it with caution. Understand that market is going to open within 2 minutes. So, right after you get into this entry, it's either going to hit your TP or it's going to hit your stop loss right away. So just something to keep in mind there. I mean, the win ratio is not horrible. It's 62.50. It won 10 out of the 16 previous trades. Profit factor is 33.3.33. Profitability is pretty decent right here. It's pretty good. Trade analysis, it pretty much wins both ways, buys and sells. So we'll see. But all right, guys, we got market open in about 4 minutes. But again, my entry here, the next one I'm looking to take is gonna be at 635. 635. All right, you got about a minute until the 627 entry. So this one's gonna come up pretty soon. If you guys want to take it again, take it at your own risk. I'm not gonna take it, I'll follow it for you guys. I feel like this trade is a bit of a gamble because it's just way too close to market open. So next on the list right here, 627, guys. It's going to be a sell entry. It's going to be with momentum, 62.50% probability of it hitting. It's not great, but it's okay. I tend to try to go for entries with above a 65%. All right, so we'll follow it here. PC is asking, how do you find your support and resistance? The same way that I traditionally do. I look at, the specific areas where price is tested multiple times. I have my SR indicator as well. So sometimes I use that. Sometimes I just eyeball it. But for the most part, I have it on a higher time frame. So I basically identify my support resistance on like the 5, 10, 15, somewhere, something like that. And then I have it on a different chart. But yeah, those are my support resistance levels right there. You can see price was kind of testing these areas prior. These are going to be pretty much irrelevant for the most part because it's so far off. But all right, back to the algo. So the algo is currently running in profit. You guys can see the short position right there. So the short was taken right there. Trade is currently running in profit. I'm not in this position, but like I said, this trade is going to hit either within the next minute or it's going to hit right on open. Not in this position because it's just too close to market open. All right, there goes that trade. This is the 627 entry. This thing's about to spike. It's going to spike right on open. So we got market opening up in about 50 seconds, guys. So this is why I decided not to take this trade here because I don't want to be caught on that spike, right? It's either going to spike to target or it's going to spike to stop loss. It's going to spike either direction. Direction for the breakout today on open is going to be it's going to be a buy actually. Okay, surprisingly, it's going to be a buy. So this thing shifted a little bit. If you're looking to take the breakout on open, it's going to be a buy. This trade over here is still running. You might get a spike both ways. You might hopefully get a spike down and then a spike up. But we'll see what happens here. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how this opens up. Market's going to open up in about 10 seconds. If you're looking to take the breakout on open, it's going to be a buy. 10-minute momentum is a bullish signal. And there we go. Market is open. Full TP right there. If you guys took that 627 entry, full TP 40 points. The open is actually not as volatile as we were expecting, right? This thing's actually pretty slow. All right, so full TP right there for the 627. My next entry is going to be here at 635. So I would have been I would have wanted to take this trade, but like I said earlier, it just didn't meet my criteria because it's too close to open. Surprisingly, the other position here is currently, I mean, it's supposed to be a buy entry. I don't know why is it showing up as a a sell. I think I might have to leave it at 10 minutes. Oh, it's because I have the data off. Uh, there we go. Yeah. So there goes that right there. I mean, I'm not in this position here. It just depends on like what time frame you're looking to take. I mean, personally, I wouldn't take it on the 10 minute. I would take it on the one. So if you were to take it on the one here, maybe moved it back to one, it actually would be a sell, obviously. It just kind of depends on what you want to have your settings here for the open. So it just the breakout on open is going to be slightly different because the settings here are based off whatever you guys want to have it set to. So for example, you want to get it exactly at the open. And it just depends on like which momentum you're looking to take. If you want to take the 1 minute, if you want to take the 10 minute, the criteria is obviously going to be different. But yeah, if you want to take it here on the 1 minute, I think this is what Talonji was looking at, right? You were looking at this and you're doing a 80-40. I think that's what you were looking at. So if you were to do that, I think the trade's still technically running right now. The market's actually really slow for open. I'm surprised it's this slow right now. It's like really slow. Let me measure the open real quick. Let's go back to the orb. So the orb here, this is actually a really small orb. Look at this orb range compared to yesterday's. Yesterday's orb range was right here. This is about 142 points. The orb for today is extremely small. I'm surprised the volatility is this slow today. I mean, it's not that small. It's 80 points, but in comparison to yesterday, it's pretty small. The breakout's still technically running. So market opened up right here, came down about maybe 38 points, and it pushed up maybe about 40 points. Very choppy for open here. All right, so there goes the orb, guys. If you guys are looking to take the orb, I mean, the price has not broken outside the orb yet. The next entry that I'm looking to take here is going to be at 635. Let me put the criteria up here real quick. All right, so this is going to be with momentum. I'm looking to take a sell here. Okay, now, so it's starting to dump here, super heavy now. There we go. So there goes that movement that I was expecting. So here's the entry for the sell right there. Solange, you decided not to take it, but this was the entry right here for the breakout. 80-40, right? I think it just hit. I don't know. It looks like it might have gotten stopped that. Depending on what you use, if you guys use a 50-50, I think the 50-50 would have hit. But if you use the 80-40, it wouldn't have hit. Yeah, it depends on the open. Again, I don't like taking the open anymore because of this specific reason. You get a lot of chop here, you get a lot of manipulation. For most of my entries, I try to avoid manipulation at all costs. So, all right, my next entry right here is going to be at 635. We have about a minute till then. Here are the stats for the 635 entry. It has a 68.75% probability of it hitting. Looking over here at the trade analysis, for sells here, it has a 80% probability. For buys here, it has a 63.64. So I'm going based, strictly off the data here. Mainly going to look for a sell. And it is going to be a sell here. So I'll be looking to maybe get into this trade right here at 635. If I don't get into this, there's other opportunities a little later, but I'll probably try to jump into this one here at 635. The only thing I'll be worried about is if the candle here is kind of spiky. So see how it's kind of going back and forth? Like if this candle spikes down like, 70 points, I probably don't want to take it because it's going to have to retrace back up. But it's only down like 30 points here. So this candle's going to close in about let's see. Yeah, 25 seconds here. It's going to be a sell entry. Taking it for half risk, of course. It's closing at about, and I'm gonna get into it, guys. It's closing at five, four, three, two, and one.
Order submitted. Order
Okay.
order filled.
So it's running right now.
Order filled.
Target is at 45,811. Yeah, huge spike right there. Let's see, stop is at 45,871.
Connection lost.
I don't know what happened. The connection got, oh, my connection's like spotty right now. It's almost at my target.
Connection lost.
Keep getting disconnected for some reason. All right. It's coming down right now. Almost at the 40.
Target filled.
Target filled them out. Fuck out of here. All right. Great move right there, guys. Full TPs right there.
Order filled.
All right. Wait, I don't know what's up with my ninja. It looks like I have a position. Let me get out of this. Why is my stop right here? Fuck, let me go. I had a connection issue. Let me go to Ninja real quick. I think I had to manually go in and for some reason I have a stop position here that's kind of just sitting there. I need to get it out. Ah, fuck, how do I get out of here? Let me see. Log into my personal. Um, I think I'm out, but I have a pending position here waiting. Let me just close it on my Ninja and reopen it. Orders. Fuck. I'm trying to get out of my thing. Close. I have a pending order just sitting right here. I need to get out of it. No, no, no. Fuck. Oh my God, where's my thing at? Okay. God, I hate that they updated this. Skip the tutorial. Fuck. I'm trying to figure out. Oh my God, I'm getting stressed out here because I have a pending order it's a buy stop at the top. I'm not trying to get into that buy stop. Close and exit all. Yes. Oh, fucking hell. God damn it. Okay. I was stressing out for a second because I had a pending order. Like, I don't know why this happened. I had that connection issue. And what happened here is I had a pending order waiting right here. It was basically my stop loss. It was just waiting right here. And I tried to cancel on Ninja, but I was getting this error. So I had to log into the remote platform of Ninja, and then I had to cancel it. It was still up. Okay, that's a relief. I would have been pissed if it would have filled my order and it would have brought me back into the position after I just pulled out. But okay, there goes the intro right there. Okay, guys, so sometimes stuff like that happens, right? You just have to be prepared. The thing is, I wasn't prepared because this hasn't happened I don't think it's happened in over a year, maybe 2 years. This, for some reason, this connection issue tends to happen in the winter. Um, like this happened a long time ago where I ended up blowing all my accounts, if you guys remember that. I had like trades that were still running, but they weren't supposed to be running. But thank God, right here, I logged in and I took it off. So guys, just be aware that NinjaTrader is going to have issues sometimes. And okay, I'm going to put some notes here real quick. I need to go and I need to set up my risk real quick. I'm gonna do this after the live session, but I'm gonna put a big note here. Set up daily loss limit for Ninja. So what you guys can do as well is you guys can set up you can set up your settings to where you'll pull out of the position if it reaches a certain point. or like if you go into a certain amount of drawdown, just so you don't, accidentally blow your account if it ends up running and you have a connection issue. Um, okay, no, we're good here. So let me go ahead and take a screenshot of everything here. Pretty good profit on this trade. I did get some slippage across the board here, but I did overall lock in some pretty good profit. And that was low key kind of scary because it's my real account. It's not an Apex account. So if I blow this, well, obviously I'm not gonna blow it, but um, this is like real money. So if I go down like, a couple of $1,000, that's $1,000 of like my actual money, not prop money. That's why I was getting a little stressed out there. But trade ended up pretty good. Ended up closing out of all my positions right there. Full TP on it, 40 points. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a screenshot of this real quick. Well, that woke me up today. Woke me up for this live session. The next entry is going to be at 6:47. All right. I think I have to log out and log back in now. Let me log out of this window, or I'll just have the window open just in case. Okay, great. Let me log out and log back into my Ninja now. All right, here is the entry. Let me log back into all my Ninja accounts real quick.
Or-
I logged into that account.
Order.
What? It said order filled. Man, Ninja's tripping me out today. I don't know why. I logged into my Ninja and it said order filled, but I don't see any positions running right now. Looks like this thing is still dumping. Okay, so here are my profits for the day. Let me go and put this over here real quick. I don't know. I'm kind of spooked right now to take another trade because of these connection issues. All right, well, either way, let's see. Next entry is going to come up right here at 647. It's going to be with momentum. The overall probability on this is not super high, but it's pretty good on the for sells, it looks like. Let me go over here real quick and I'll put the data in here. It's going to run a quick little analysis of it to see what it might look like. So the overall profitability on this isn't going to be super high, but the sell is going to be good. Has a 56.25 win probability of it winning. Once it's risk to reward, of course, 85.71% probability for sells. It won 2 out of the 3 recent Tuesdays. Okay, so yeah, right here, profitability is 56.25. It's pretty good for sells though right here, so 85.71. So if you want to take this entry right here, I would go for a sell, of course. That's where I've listed it. So 647 right here, it's going to be with momentum. It's going to be looking like a sell over there. So all right, we got this coming up shortly. And yeah, Sam said flatten all. So I tried that. I tried to flatten all, and then it didn't work on the NinjaTrader on my laptop. So I had to log into the actual NinjaTrader website, the remote platform, and then I had to cancel it all from there. The thing is, NinjaTrader, they revamped their entire website, so I didn't know where anything was. Usually I have it preset, but I got to remember this time that I need to go through and have it open just in case something like this happens in the future. But anyways, we have a trade coming up shortly. Let me go ahead and post my profits in the Discord real quick. Yeah, I mean the stress runs deeper when it's like your actual money. For an Apex account, I wouldn't be too worried because whatever, if I blow an Apex account or a prop account, I'll get it back, right? It's like whatever. But when it's your real account, that's where it becomes stressful because it's like actual money, right? A prop account's like what, like less than $100, but 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 of your own actual money, it's gonna hurt if you make a mistake on that. All right, guys. So we got the trade coming up right here at 647. It's looking like it's going to be a sell here. You know what? I'm going to hold off on this entry right here. Again, I don't like how the overall profitability is not super high. The sells here could be good though. So the sell analysis here is pretty good. The only issue here is that it is, the overall profitability is low. So if you guys want to take this here, this is going to be 647 entry. My next one's going to be at 711. So we're not too far out. But if you do want to take this trade right here, it just doesn't meet my criteria. Like as much as I would like to take it, it looks great for sells, but the overall profitability is just not, or probability is just not there. I want the trade to be overall a good trade, and then the direction I want it's just going to be an addition to it, right? So, I mean, it looks like buys here just lose a lot of the times. It lost basically six out of the nine buy entries that came up. It won six out of the seven sell entries, but the you know, overall probability here is just not that great. So if you guys want to take this, feel free. It's going to be a sell. It is currently running right now. I'll follow it for you guys, but I'm not in this position. Like I said, the overall profitability just didn't line up with, or probability didn't line up with my criteria. And it's a good thing I skipped it because the trade here obviously didn't work out, right? All right, good thing that I made the decision there. Again, I have to stick to what my rules are. My rules are anything above a 65% overall. And then from there, the icing on the cake is going to be really the direction of the trade. So next entry is going to be at 711 right here. It has a 62.50% probability overall, 72.73% probability for sells. And that's what we got coming up next. So here are my profits for the day so far, guys. I took one trade. Here are my profits right here, as you guys can see. Pretty great profits across the board um, right here. So here, I'll just copy this real quick. I'll go to my main chart. The trade I took was right here for a sell. You guys can see the markers right here for my entry. So 40 points. Literally no drawdown and went straight to my target. So here are my profits right there for that trade. Pretty good. This is my first trade for the week. Full TP right there, 40 points. There is some slippage, of course. You can see some of my accounts here. There's some profits more than others. Some is less than others, but it's all good. Yeah. So there are my profits for the day so far. I just took one trade. Next one's going to be over here at 711. Be looking for possibility right there for entry. So yeah, just one trade for me today so far is gonna be right here at 635. So I'll put the criteria over here real quick of my entries. So today's official or today's algo entries. There was one over here pre-market at 627, so 6:27 a.m. It was a win for plus 2R. Again, right here at 6:35 a.m. It was a win for plus 2R. Total, two wins plus 4R. All right, so we're at 4R for the day, depending on which ones you guys decided to take. Obviously, the ones that I decided to take, I only took one of them. This one here at 6. 35, it met my criteria above 65%, 80% for sells, won 3 out of 3 previous Tuesdays. Everything just lined up perfect there. So I took that trade. Um, it looks like the trade over here at 647, it looks like it would have played out. It just like lightly tapped stop loss, depending on where your entry was. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it literally just tapped it and then it came down. So if you guys took this trade right here, I mean, depending on where your entry was, if you got in for better, if you got in for a discount a little bit higher, you probably would have survived the pullback right there. But it just ended up tapping it and coming right back down. I didn't take that trade though, so obviously it's not an account for the entries here. The ATR is extremely high. I just realized. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, Sam said he's worried about his 20-point stop loss because the ATR is so high. Me too. That's the reason why I was kind of worried about this one. Might want to go for like a 25.50 instead, or maybe even a 30.60 just to be safe. I mean, even 30.60 might be too tight because the ATR is so high, right? 46 points. It's pretty high. It's pretty heavy right now. So thanks for mentioning that, Sam. If that's the case, I might not even take the entry here at 711 if the ATR is too high. I don't want to be caught up in something like this, right? Where you're like just get stopped out and then you go straight to your target because your stop loss is too tight. Like I would hate to be in a position like this where I take the position, it stops you out, and then it comes right back down, like where it was supposed to go. Let's see. Nick said Ninja always telling me it didn't exit, and it sure did. Yeah, I know it's weird. I don't know. I've been having connection issues today with Ninja. It was actually pretty scary because I was looking at my copier during the time the trade was live, and it was like everything was like yellow, like where it showed all your accounts. So it showed that like the positions were running, but they weren't updating in the system. Usually I have a preset for my copier where if it doesn't fill it or if there's a technical issue, it'll just cancel it out and just close out the position. But for today, it didn't do that. And if you look at my well, I mean, obviously you guys can't see my Ninja Trader here. It looks like there was a big spike, but there really wasn't a spike. So for this candle over here for this entry, it showed that price spiked like way up here and then it came back down, but it didn't actually happen. It was just my connection issue was in play. Hey Chris, Chris is asking, hey Sean, I don't see the 147 on your screener. How did you find that one? Yeah, so when I don't really use a screener anymore, Chris, because I already know that I'm going to be trading between 6 and 7. So what I do when I look for my entries is I just go by the minute. So basically, I'll start off at like 800, and I'll just go by the minute. So I'll start off at 800, and then I'll go like 801, right? I'll just do that. And then I'll click OK and I'll see what probability and I'll go up to like 60. So I basically do like 60 individual test results to just see what my entries are between 6 and 7 o'clock. And then I do the same thing between 7 and 8 because I only trade for 2 hours, right? So that's the only time that I really care about. Um, the reason why I didn't come up is because the win rate was too low for that period. And sometimes, like I mentioned this before, the screener is not always going to be 100% accurate. Like this number could say like 76, and then you pull it up on the actual reports, and it's going to show a different number. So, I mean, it's accurate on this one. It's 70.59 and over here it's 70.6, but sometimes it's not going to be very accurate. Like for example, let's go to 33 real quick. I know one of these is not going to be accurate because the data on the chart sometimes doesn't load up properly. So you're not going to have the most accurate data here. You want to have the data on the reports because it pulls up it has all the data here already. Yeah, see, like this is completely off. Like over here it says 64.7. It's actually 35.29. And all the settings here are exactly the same. So guys, if you guys are using the algo, use this as use this as a guide, but don't base your entries off this. Make sure to run the actual trade through your reports because the reports are going to be more accurate. See, I think there might be a connection issue with my charts over here, so it doesn't show all the proper numbers. I mean, it shows most of them, but you're gonna have some that are like outliers, like this one right here, set at 633. It shows 64%, but it's actually 35. I mean, I might have made an issue, an error on here too, so it might be my bad. It might not even be the chart, but yeah, I'm always playing around with the settings over here, so I don't know if I have all the settings in here properly set up. Let's go over here real quick. Sorry, let me go to the chat. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So Smith, sorry, I did see your message over here. I was too busy trying to close out my position, but Smith over here was asking, I wasn't fast enough. Are you going in with a market order? Yes, that is correct. I'm not using any pending orders here because, like you said, it's too fast sometimes. And if you go in with a pending order, it's probably not going to fill. So I'm going in with all of my positions with a market order. If you guys are on the YouTube, just keep in mind that the YouTube is delayed by about a minute. So if you do want to have, if you want to follow these trades live as we're taking them, you probably want to be on the Zoom. So if you want to get on the Zoom, just go to the website. The website is kodikaitrades.com. Click on Kodi Kai Live Trading Room right here, and you can get access to the Zoom, which is real time. The YouTube is delayed by about a minute. So by the time you guys see that I'm getting into a position, we're probably going to be out of it or we're going to be deep in profit by then. CJ said outside of Sean's ninja scaring the shit out of me, that intro was pretty smooth. Yeah, no drawdown on that one. It was perfect. Thanks, Barack. Yeah, certain said it's at the Monday gap. Solange said way oversold. Nedra said took an NQ sell at 9:11 Eastern, worked out, no drawdown. Perfect. Yeah, so I'm glad that you guys here are using my algo on different assets. Looks like Nedra over here used it on NQ, worked out perfect for her. She took the trade at 6:11 with no drawdown. That's perfect. iPhone is asking, what's the benefit of using your own money? Um, I mean, the main benefit is that it's your own money, right? You don't have to, there's no rules with your trades. That's the main thing. I mean, I have a hedge fund, so I have to, I kind of have to use my own money because I can't, I got to trade everyone else's real money too because all of my like I can't turn in like basically at the end of each month or like quarterly I have to send in my broker statements to the regulators. I can't send them Apex reports, right? If I'm like considered a professional trader, I should be trading my own money. So I mean, there's benefits to it where it's your own money, right? If I want to withdraw this, like for example, today I made how much did I make on my personal? So my main personal accounts right here, I made 1,360. This is like my own cash right here. There's no rules, like there's no trailing drawdown, there's none of that stuff. If I want to withdraw this today, I could withdraw it today. It's my own money. That's probably the best benefit of it. There's no rules, like you can't blow the account. The thing with these prop firms is they don't have to pay you out. You guys got to remember that. The prop firms are generally not your friend, so you shouldn't be depending mainly on prop firms with prop firms, like for me, what I do is I make money off prop firms, a lot of I'll make the payouts and then I'll transfer that to my personal account and then I scale from there. I don't really scale on the prop accounts. The prop accounts, they're like set contract sizes. Like for example, on my smaller prop accounts over here, I'm probably using um, I don't know, like 3 contracts. For the bigger prop accounts, I'm using like 10 contracts. I don't ever increase those contract sizes. They're just going to be set at that price. And then I just request the payouts when I can, and then I move them over to my live account, my personal, and then I scale on that one. So on my personal account, I'm probably taking like 10 contracts um and then as I make more and more money on those accounts, I scale even higher. So yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to using a personal account. Obviously, if there weren't all these rules with these prop accounts, I would probably just use prop accounts. But the thing is, you got to remember these prop accounts, they can disappear tomorrow, right? So, say for example, if I have like 20,000 in prop profits and the prop account or the prop firm decides not to pay me out, then I'm kind of out of luck because you can't go get that money. Um, so I mean, there's pros and cons. If you're a good trader and you trust in your trading and stuff like that, a personal live account is perfectly fine. Your goal should always be to become a live trader. Your goal shouldn't be to be a professional prop trader. If you want to be a real trader, like you want to make a career out of this, you should be aiming towards a live account because there's no rules with a live account. It's your money. I mean, I don't know any professional prop traders to be honest, like that actually do this for a living. All the people that I know who do just prop trading, they're usually selling something to you, right? Like selling a course or selling something. It's all for show basically. For me, I'm doing most of this for well, I have the hedge fund, of course, so I have to lead by example. You got to put some skin in the game if you're going to be trading other people's money. But yeah, there's it's a balancing it's a balancing thing. I would say just use props as a vehicle to make money, and then once you make that money, move it over to your personal and trade there. Also, when you're trading your personal, it helps with your psychology, right? Because if you have real money on the line, you're not going to be taking like dumb risks. Like for example, I'm already pretty disciplined and I have a routine with my entries here. Like I plan out my entries the day before. If I was only trading prop accounts, I probably wouldn't care as much, right? Because I'm like, oh, I can blow this account and then I can open another one. So that's another thing too. That's another pro that because I'm trading real money, I have to be serious about my trading and I'm not taking random trades here. So. Other than that, let's see. Barack said he's unable to trade, has to reset his chart book. Yeah, hopefully get that figured out right now, Barack, before the market picks back up. I mean, the ATR is extremely high right now, guys. Like Sam mentioned, it's still at 41 right now. So I don't even know if I'm going to get into this entry at 711. This is unusually high ATR. It's unusually high ATR for a day like this where there's not really much news happening, right? Let's take a look at the calendar for the day. There's nothing happening until like 9 o'clock, which is when Powell's going to speak. But right now, there's no catalyst really pushing price around. Um, yeah, it's like the volatility is extremely high right now for a day with no news specifically. Let's see. Daniel said got it for 40 points. He's using limits at whole numbers though. Okay, so what Daniel's doing here is he's getting in with limit orders, but he's putting them at the whole numbers, which is fine. Um, Looks like Daniel here got in at 45,850. So maybe a point off from the actual entry. And then he wrote this down for that target right there. Let's see. CJ's asking, anyone using algo on gold today? Just wondering how it's going. I think Surin is using it and probably I think David's using it too. David was using it yesterday. Yeah, Stern said it's crazy. Yeah, the algo is actually really, really accurate with gold because it's based off momentum and gold has been very volatile lately. So there's been a lot of momentum with gold, so it's been pretty accurate. But yeah, Stern said it's crazy. It's been hitting. So that's good. All right. So other than that, let's see. iPhone is asking, what do you mean they don't have to pay you out? I mean, you sign an agreement with the hedge with the prop firm. You should read the stuff that you sign when you sign up for them, right? There's clauses in there that say they don't have to pay you out. They can refuse you or they can close your account at any time for any reason. Like if they don't like you, they're like, "Oh, I don't like you, iPhone. Your name's iPhone, so I'm not going to pay you out, and I don't want you to trade on this prop firm anymore." They can do that, right? Because you agree to it. But the thing is, like, it's like with any other company, right? There's always these clauses where they kind of they reserve the right to refuse service to you. It's like, like restaurants. Restaurants have a right to refuse service to you. If they don't want to serve you at a restaurant, they don't have to. Same with Apex. If they don't want to serve you, they don't have to. Same with so Will, I don't know if Will is here right now, but Will is one of the guys who is not getting served by Apex. They basically banned him from Apex. I don't know what he was doing. He's probably doing something like YOLOing his account and blowing accounts left and right. Um, but he's Roosevelt. Okay, got you. Yeah, Roosevelt. But yeah, no. So it's not just Apex, but there's other companies out there, and you basically reserve the right to not pay you out. The thing with Apex is they're probably not just going to ban you for no reason. You probably have to do something crazy or something that is against their guidelines. But people do get denied from Apex. Like I've gone denied before, but it was because I violated a rule. And then what happens when you get denied is you just keep trading for the next month. The problem is, the time period between you get denied and you trade the next month is you can still blow the account during that period. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with Apex though, so don't get me wrong. Apex has never like not paid me. They've denied me before, but it was my fault. And then I kept trading for another month and then I got paid out. Um, and I'm also working with like, the executives of um of Apex and they've gone denied too. They told me like, they don't single anybody out. Like Apex will deny if you violate the rules, they'll deny you. Even if you're an employee of Apex, they don't care. So just make sure that you're not violating the rules. The main rules that get violated are the consistency rule. I think that's the main one. So what happened with me was that I was breaking. What happened is I kept breaking even, right? I kept moving my stop loss and profit, and then my consistency just got wider and wider. Because some days I'd make like 1,000, some days I'd make like $1. So obviously that's going to mess with the consistency. That's why for me I don't like moving my stop loss and profit anymore. I just take a win or I take a loss per trade. But yeah, Will is one of the guys that unfortunately he's in the YouTube right now. He just commented. He's one of the guys that got banned from Apex. Uh, and we're trying to get him unbanned. So I'm talking with the executives from Apex. I'm trying to get his account back up and running again. But he's not able to buy accounts with Apex right now. So like it kind of sucks because you go from having 20 accounts to having zero. if they uh if they boot you from it. CJ said MFF is a good example of people not getting paid. They would breadcrumb your profits and blame it on slippage. Yeah, exactly. There's certain companies that you should stay away from, like MFF, which is My Forex Funds. They got shut down last year. They're supposedly reopening, but I would never trust them again. The big one was Funding Talent. If you guys remember Funding Talent, that one was huge. Like that was like the biggest Ponzi scheme ever in the prop firm space. Most of you guys probably weren't around during Funding Talent, but Funding Talent was like they're basically MFF, but they just changed their name. Um, yeah, I think Funding Talent was one of the first main ones back then. It was like when we were still using FTMO. Let's see. Singh is asking, "Hi boss, do you have the stats for your trade since using the algo?" Yeah. So we've been using it since the 29th. So 29th, we've been on a win streak right here. All wins right here, 29th, 30th, and then pretty much for the whole month of October. And then I didn't take any trades yesterday, and then I have a win over here. I have to update my stats. So those are my stats there. The algo's been pretty nice. It's been for the most part winning days every day for the whole month of October. On the 9th over here, I usually take two trades a day. I only took one, so unfortunately I wasn't able to recoup it. If I did take two trades on this day, it would have been a green day, but the day was just kind of messy, so I only took one trade that day. Thing is, I have more opportunities here because I'm focusing mainly on just the entries between 6 and 8. And then my probabilities are a bit higher too. So guys, the next entry here is at 7-11. The overall profitability is 62.50%. It's going to be against momentum. So um, it could possibly set up here pretty shortly. So again, guys, the thing with this here that I'm a little concerned about is going to be the volatility of price. The ATR is still decently high. It's like at 38 points. Again, I don't really like it when it's too high. It's not like super high like before though with these spikes, but again, I'm still like a little concerned about the volatility being too high. CJ's asking, should we do a 40-80? So the problem with this here is I don't have the stats for the 40-80. Let me just pull it in real quick. It's actually a good idea. Let's see if the profitability is still pretty high. It's updating right now as we speak. So see how these candles are too big? This is a problem because if you go into drawdown, you're going to get stopped out within a second. Like it could happen like what happened here. It could stop you out and then come back down. Now the 40-80 is not good, CJ. It's a 37% win ratio or probability of it hitting. So I'm probably gonna sit out of this trade, guys. These candles are too big. My stop's too tight and the candles are too big. I don't want to get caught and get like this would kind of piss me off if it was to spike me out and then it goes straight to target. I'll follow it for you guys here. So I think I'm gonna sit out of this trade right here, guys. The volatility is just way too high right now. I did my statistics last night, and my stats over here allowed for me to get into this position, but because the volatility is too high, I'm gonna sit out of this. I think this trade could probably hit, but again, look at how big these candles are. My stop is 20 points, guys. If this thing pushes up even just a slight bit, it's gonna stop me out. And the criteria over here for a higher TP stop loss does not fit well with this specific entry. So again, if you guys want to take this entry, I mean, feel free to take it. Let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. Oh, nice. So visual, your orb over here played out perfect. So the orb over here did hit, guys. If you guys took the orb, it didn't actually come back to refill to retest, but it did push through right here for like 100 points. So great work right there, visual on catching that. You've been killing it with the orb lately. All right, guys, this candle's about to close in a second, and the entry is now running right now. So this is the entry for 711. So 711 entry right there. Short position is currently running. Like I said, the volatility here is it's kind of spotty, and my stop loss is just way too tight. So I decided to sit out of this position. I'm still gonna follow it to see where it goes. Obviously I would still like it to hit, but I'm not in this position here. I'm kind of glad I didn't because the volatility here would have been tripping me out. Some kind of fat candles right there. The next entry is going to be at 733. We'll see if the volatility dies down. If it does, possible later entry. But I'm not in this one right here at 711. I'm really glad I didn't take it. These candles are kind of big. Yep. So good decision there on skipping that trade, guys. Man, you got to think twice now about it. Because the thing is, the data here is based off the previous 2 months or 2 weeks. And the thing is, we haven't had this. Look at this huge candle right here. It's exactly what I was worried about. Yep. So good decision right there on holding off on it. Thanks to Sam over here. Sam's been he's kind of been keeping us on point, telling us that the volatility is too high right now. Yeah, these candles are big. The 70-point push there within like a couple seconds, spiked up within short moment there. So with the algo over here, guys, it pulls the data for the previous 17 trades basically, right? So we have a 17 trade sample. The thing is, the previous 2 weeks ago, the market, or previous 3 weeks ago, basically a month ago, the volatility wasn't this high. The ATR is usually around 20. That's why we're able to use a 2040, stop loss TP. The problem with this here is that that's not being the case right now, right? With this here, the 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 market here is just not really consistent. So it's got to be a little careful with your entries for today. The next entry is going to be at 733. I'll be following it right here down below the ATR. If the ATR drops below 30 or on the lower 30s, then maybe I'll take the entry. If it stays above 35, I'm probably not going to take it because again, my stop loss is really tight. It's at 20 points. So just one little push to the opposite direction could just stop me out. So I'm gonna hold off on that. Yeah, so Will said he got paid 32,000 from Apex. He'll always trust them. It's just the email he received about transitioning to live and that they'll review trades over 30 days. Yeah, so William got that message about I think everybody got that message at some point where they wanted to transition to live. The problem is he blew the accounts during that phase, and then because he blew the accounts, they ended up I guess sort of they didn't ban him, but they just didn't let him buy any more accounts. And that's why we're trying to get that sorted out so that he can buy more accounts to do another eval. Will said Fast Track was one of the biggest scams. Yeah, so back in the Forex days, funding talent was the biggest scam. And then in the futures days, Fast Track was the biggest scam. for prop firms. If you guys have been trading for a while, you guys know what I'm talking about. Fast Track was one of the big prop firms that everyone was using before. They were competing with Apex. Their accounts are super cheap, and they had like 20 accounts, and but they never paid out. So they were a total Ponzi scheme. Visual over here said that MFF played with spreads and all that, but they never denied a payout. Yeah, I agree. So with MFF, I did get payouts with MFF, and they were okay. But yes, they did play around with spreads, and they played around with your trades. They basically forced you to blow your account in some instances. Like I remember one time I was using MFF, and my stop loss was like right here, and they would just keep inching your loss, right? Like you'd have your trade there, and then they'd have slippage where price pushed up here, and they end up closing you out here. So if you're ever close to like blowing your account with MFF, they would allow for some pretty decent amount of slippage. Let's see. So Talanji said, knowing that these trades are going to skew the data for the next few weeks as well. Yeah, I agree with you too, Talanji. Unfortunately, because of the tariff news and because of the government shutdown, the algo data is going to be a little bit skewed. It's not going to be horribly skewed, but it's going to be a little bit skewed because you're going to have losing days when they shouldn't be losing days, right? Talanji, I think that's going to be one of the problems with it here. So the next entry available is going to be at 733, guys, for anybody who's looking to take that. Again, I only took one trade today. Here are my stats so far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to update my trader sync real quick. Hopefully I can have all my trades uploaded, and then we can see what my stats are for this week and for today so far. All right, so the next entry here is going to be at 733. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and try to update my accounts here for Trader Sync. All right, my accounts are updating right now. All right, so I only took one entry, which is at the 635 right here. This is the only one that I took. It was a perfect entry, little to no drawdown at all. The other entry right here was pre-market, right before market open. Um, Wanted to take it, but it was too close to market open. I got my Trader Sync over here updating right now with all of my accounts. Not all of my accounts, but it's going to be majority of them. You know what I realized? So like, I actually didn't have my copier on for a couple of my accounts. So you're probably gonna see more profit than usual today. Because I just realized that I had like four of my accounts not toggled on. So you might see like another 4,000 in profit from what I normally have. Nick said both of my entries hit, but he sat out. I know it sucks, right? It sucks when you have an entry lined up and then they hit, but then you end up sitting it out for whatever reason, and then you regret it. But you know, I would obviously you shouldn't make any moves based off that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, Nick, right? It happens. So it's all good. So looking at the 733 entry, guys, this one does not meet my criteria. So this trade over here at 733, it has a 50% probability of it hitting. It's 1/8 out of the 16 trades. However, looking over here at the trade analysis, it has an 83.33 probability of it hitting for a buy entry. So if you guys want to take it, the probabilities for buys here are looking really good at 733. So let me go over here to the Discord real quick. Yeah, so that 733 entry, it's with momentum, 50% probability of it hitting overall, 2040 CP stop loss. It has a 83.33% win ratio for buys. It won 2 out of the 3 recent Tuesdays. And if you want to take it, you want to aim for a buy, of course. The next good entry is going to be at 751. So we'll see if the volatility dies down by then. It looks like it's going to. It's slowing down a little bit. So I probably won't be getting into this one at 733, but I'll probably be looking to get into this one at 751. I'll see. I mean, I'll kind of just eyeball it and kind of see what I'm looking at. The thing is, I don't like the overall profitability here. I want this to be closer to like 65% in order for me to want to take it. CJ said we're going down memory lane with the trading MLMs. How could anyone forget IML? They're regurgitating free info directly from baby pips. I know if you guys were trading around COVID time, you guys probably know about IML, right? A lot of you guys here are from IML or you were in IML at some point. That was like, that's got to be the most cringe trading group ever, right? IML, iMarkets Live. It's the crazy thing is I think they're still around, but they just rebranded it as a different name. They're not IML anymore. They rebranded, I think, like 4 or 5 times, right? It was like IML, iMarkets Live, IM Academy. I think there's another one. They just it's the same thing, but they just rebranded as something else. But yeah, that was crazy. They basically just like recopied everything from Baby Pips and gave it some weird names. I forgot there was like a couple strategies. There's like the Batman pattern. There's like the some people used to apply the strategy called like the Gold Cup or something like that, or the Cup and Tea pattern, which was a basic pattern, but they made it seem like it only worked on gold. It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of you guys have been around for a while, so you guys have seen things come and go. Cup and handle, yeah. Let's turn into cup and handle is not, it's a traditional pattern, but I think they called it gold cup. So everyone thought it was like, oh, it's only for gold and it was something brand new, but it's the same thing with what's happening with like ICT and like these other traders, right? They call these strategies like a special name, but they've been around forever. Like fair value gaps and inverted fair value gaps, they're just imbalances. Imbalances have been around from like the beginning of technical analysis, but people want to give them like special names, FVG, IFVG. That's why for me, I don't really care about a lot of that stuff. Now we just trade based off the data. We don't even look at that stuff anymore. There's too many names. Like if you think about it, like if you look at whatever's a popular strategy right now, there's way too many names. Um, Like the orb is an old school strategy too, but like we used to call it the full name. It's just opening range breakout. People shortened it to call it orb, and people think it's a brand new strategy. But the opening range breakout has been around from like the beginning of trading, right? I think a lot of people have been applying the orb. I applied the orb too, but I didn't realize that like you can go on the shorter time frames. The orb used to be the first 30 minutes or the first 15 or the first 10. We've kind of dropped it down to the first two um, which it's the same thing. It's just people call it orb when, like, if you say orb, some people will be like, they'll know exactly what you're talking about. But if you say opening range breakout, a lot of people will be like, what? Like they don't know what you're talking about. Even though it's the same thing, it's just it's an acronym for the actual name. Yeah. All right, guys. 7:24. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, grab some water, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Yeah, so let's see. Um, Yeah, Will said like the strategy, the unicorn, Sam said Venom, Turtle Soup, Silver Bullet. Yeah, those are just, it's names for like a lot of these traditional strategies and people will just it's crazy. It's crazy the names people will come up with. I just like to keep things simple, right? So like before we used to, well, I mean we still do. When I mark up structure, and I'll take this off the chart. We don't really need this up here. These are my profits for the day. Um Here, let me try to clean this up a little bit. Yeah, for me, I don't like to make things complicated. Like I've been trading for over 12 years now, and the thing is I've tested every single strategy out there. Like I've literally tried every single strategy out there. And what I've real well, not just realized, but what I've noticed over the years is like it's so much easier to just keep things simple, right? Like for me, I call these support and resistance, right? Some people might call it supply and demand, some people might call it order block, some people might call it whatever. For me, I just call it support and resistance, or I call it structure. That's it. Um, I keep it pretty straightforward, pretty simple. There's no confusion with what I'm looking for here. Same with imbalances, right? Some people will call it fair value gaps, inverted fair value gaps. I mean, realistically, to me, it doesn't even matter to me anymore what things are called, or even if they're even relevant, because we're trading off the quantitative data now, right? All of my entries here are based off the data. I don't use any price action. I don't use any of these. The crazy thing is I created all these indicators and tools, but I don't really use them anymore because I'm basing all my trades off the quantitative data. Um, I think moving forward and like in the future, I'm probably going to code all of my indicators into actual quant data or these types of algos where we can kind of pull the quantitative data from it. And then we can make you can base strategies based off the indicators specifically. So yeah, these tools aren't going to go anywhere, but I'm probably going to go deeper into using these tools and identify the quant data behind it so that we can kind of put things together. Because right now, what we have is pretty good, right? Based off momentum. But if you just want to trade, like for example, this is based directly off momentum. If you want to trade based just off the pivots or based off the structure or whatever it may be, I'm going to try to put these all into algorithms where we can pull the data so that we can see what the probabilities are for those specific trades. It's going to be useful, right? It's going to be useful to all of us. But I'm probably going to stick with momentum. I've been trading momentum. So this is the first indicator that I ever put together. And I've been using this for over 12 years now. Everything always comes back to momentum. All my trades are based off momentum. These other indicators that I created over the years, they're just additional tools and confluences for momentum. All right, so price is climbing up pretty strong right now. Let's see, the next entry for today is going to be at 733. Like I said, this has a 50% win ratio, so I don't think this is one that I would necessarily like to take. But if you guys do want to take it, it has an 83.33% probability of winning for buys. So you probably want to stick with momentum and you want to look for a buy here at 733. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Just something to keep in mind, of course. Let's go here to so we have a support level right here. It's off this higher low. I didn't really want to make a mess here, but there are some imbalances here as well. So there's an imbalance right here, which price basically broke and retest from. So there is an imbalance right here. Price pretty much broke and retested. Not there. Messy chart though. So super, super messy chart right now with regard to where price is currently at. Again, if you guys want to take this entry, which is at 733, it's going to be, well, you're going to aim for a buy, of course. The win ratio is not super high, so it's not one that I personally would be looking to take. But looking at the historical data over here, it's won pretty much 2 out of the 3 previous entries. So over here on October 7th, it won. September 30th, it won. And then September, actually won all 3. So it went over here on September 7th. On the 23rd, it lost. Okay, so it lost right here. Yeah, so 2 out of the 3 entries here it hit. Trade analysis, it has 83.33% probability of it winning for a long, 30% probability of it winning for a sell. So I probably stay away from it if it's a sell entry, but the buys over here look good. The numbers just they line up. It's just the overall, which is kind of turning me off to this position here. The good thing is that the ATR is starting to drop. So that being the case, there may be opportunities for entry there. All right, let's see. 7:33 right now. Let me check my thing over here real quick. See what your message is, sir. Nice, Saren. So here's Saren's profits for the day. Saren actually locked in some pretty nice win over here for gold. He did the statistics with for gold over here, and nice. Yeah, so his probabilities over here are pretty high for Saren. Pretty good. Yeah, if you guys want to run the data on like, you can pull the data and then you can run it through ChatGPT or have them like, go deeper into the data, you can do that. You can do that as well. And I don't know why the numbers here are like, I'm gonna fix this real quick. All right, the entry's coming up right here at 7:33, guys. It looks like it's going to be a buy. So if you guys want to take this here, you guys can take it. I'm going to sit out on it because, like I said, the overall profitability or probability is not very high. I want it to be above like a 60%, at least above a 65, and it's not there. So I'm going to hold off on that specific entry. All right, we're at the 7:33 candle, guys. For those of you who are looking to take it, it is going to be a buy entry. It lines up with what we were looking for initially, but it doesn't align with what I'm looking for specifically because I need it to be above a 65% probability of it hitting overall. It's at 50. I mean, it's not horrible. Okay, so the entry is currently running right now. We'll follow it. Not in the position, but this has a it has a probability of a buy winning by 83.33. So you're never going to be 100%, obviously, but based off the data here, the buys do look good. It's just the overall doesn't look super great. I mean, it still wins 50% of the time. This is a 1 to 2 risk reward. So this is a profitable, I mean, this setup here is profitable long term or for the term given. It's just, it just doesn't meet my criteria. So anything above 33.33% is going to be profitable because you're doing a 1 to 2. So 50% is not horrible, but it doesn't meet my threshold because I want to only take I don't want to say the absolute winners, but I want to take the trades that are obviously going to be the odds are in my favor. So trade's currently running in profit. It's looking pretty decent so far. Looks like it's about to hit. Now I'm like second thinking like, damn, I should have got into this entry because the volatility did drop down a bit. We're currently below 30. This is what we were waiting for. It's just the probabilities weren't high enough for me. But let's see. It looks like some of you guys are in it. Daniel said this entry confluence with MPSV2 and break and retest. Nice. So there's a confluence there for price to continue pushing up. See, the thing with the volatility is it was too high earlier. Now it's getting a little low. So it's kind of hard for it to push right through. Again, I'm not in this position, but we are following it for you guys. Pushing up still. It's about a hit. It's just a matter of time until it does. About a hit right there. Full TP. All right, guys. If you guys took the trade right there, full TP. I was tempted to get into it. Like I said, the numbers here look really good, but it just didn't meet my criteria. There's no drawdown there. It was a perfect entry. Spot on. But like I said, I'm trading with probabilities. So like if the probabilities don't line up with what I'm looking for, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to force any trades here. There's no need to force any trades. There's other opportunities here to take. So it's currently up 3 wins, 6 R for the day so far. Again, this was one that I was kind of thinking about taking because the buys here are so strong. Now the profitability, you can see it kind of went up a little more. It was at 50, now it's at 53. And this is up again too. So initially it was I mean, this is probably gonna bump up even more. It was at 85, it's probably like 87 now because another win there for the buys. All right, guys, great work for those of you who caught it. Looks like a good amount of you guys here caught it. Nice, nice. Perfect. So, CJ caught it. Talanji got it. Barack got it. Nice work, guys. All right, solid work so far, guys, with the profits so far. Again, we're going to keep looking for some more opportunities for entry. Man, I don't know what's up with my thing here. It's the trader sync is starting to kind of annoy me. I keep trying to fix it, but it keeps updating for some reason with like the data that I don't want. For some reason, it's putting like these big trades here that I didn't take. Okay, whatever. Let me just fix this real quick. I don't even know where these trades are even coming from. Okay, let me see. I think this is gonna fix it. I just keep trying to update my trader sync, and for whatever reason, it keeps giving me like these errors. Okay, so looking at this here, let me go here to my reports. Let me put all the dates year to date so far. Okay, so I think I have my trades here, but like I don't know what happened on Friday. On Friday, I swear we only took one trade. Let me see, I'm gonna update this again one more time. All right, the next entry is gonna be at 7:55, 51. It's gonna be with momentum. 68 point here, I'll just put the date over here. So the next entry that I'm looking to get possibly is gonna be at 7:51 right here. It's gonna be with momentum. I'm gonna update the report real quick. Okay, good. I think my trader sync is now actually synced properly. Let me just make sure everything here is good. Okay, I think it's good now. Let me check real quick. Numbers look good. Okay, I think we are good here. So let me go ahead and drag over my trader sync real quick. I was just trying to update it in the background, guys. So here are my stats for the month so far. This is for the day. So for the day, I locked in 34,115 right here. Like I said, I had a couple trades that weren't actually copying over prior. They are now. So there's a couple more trades that were taken. There's more trades that I took. So there's actually more profits here. I just didn't add, like I didn't add my Tradeify on here and then my other accounts. This is just like a couple of my accounts here. So yeah, these are the stats for the day so far. So whatever happens for the rest of the day, I'm still going to be in profit because I'm doing a 1 to 2 risk reward. But yeah, these are my current stats for for the day. So I'm currently up 337,000 for the month of October. We had a like the all these trades are based off the algo, guys. So you guys can see the algo is doing some crazy numbers this month. These are my profits for the day. I only took one trade, 34,115. And then for the year so far, so here are all of my trades from January 2nd, which is the first day of the trading year. And then today, which is October 14th, I'm currently at 952,760. My net is 831,781. All these trades were taken live with you guys. So you guys can see here, we had a little bit of a slump in September. And then I hit it right back with the algo over here from October. So we've been pretty much killing it from October up until now. Yeah, it's crazy. The profitability that we made such a huge like and you look at the calendar here. So we made a huge recovery. Basically, I had a red month for September. I was down like 100,000. It was a pretty bloody month for me. I lowered my risk and I did take some losses here. This is part of the game, right? You have a losing month sometimes. September was pretty bad for me. And then October, I made it right back in that first week. So that first week, I made all the profit back that it was lost. And then we've been on a pretty nice win streak for the entire month of October. So like basically the first week of October started right here on the 29th. It was a win-win or a green day, all green days, one red day, and another green day today. So it's been pretty amazing, guys. The what we came up with here with the algo. I'm really excited to see how this plays out for the next for the next couple months and for the next couple years, really, the thing is, this is pretty crazy. If I can have months like this every single month from October to November to December to January to like next year, this is going to be pretty insane to have these types of days, especially because I'm going to be running the algo for the hedge fund, right? So, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what we've got here and what's to come because this is just the beginning. It's literally just the beginning. Um, CJ said, man, my confidence in this algo is crazy. I've never been able to take a trade at this level of unbotheredness. I know, right? Because we have the data in front of you. So, like, if the trade loses, it's fine because you had the data in front of you, right? You knew you had a probability of winning and you knew you had a probability of losing. So, for example, here, if I take this trade at 751, it has an 85.71% probability of it winning for a sell. So, if it wins, great. If it loses, that's fine. We traded with probabilities on our side, right? You're never going to be 100% with the trade, but if you can take a trade confidently and not be too worried about it, I think that like it opens up a whole different game because you're just trading off the numbers now. Like for example, if I take another trade today, it doesn't matter if I win or lose, I'll still be in profit because I'm doing a 1 to 2 risk reward. So yeah, I might cut my profits in half, but I'm still going to be in profit for the day. But I'm willing to take that risk because if it wins, then great. I've basically doubled my profit. If I lose, I've lost half. So yeah, pretty exciting to see where this goes. Yeah, Visual said less indicators better. I remember back in the days, platforms had only 10 to 15 total indicators, and I'm talking back in 1998. Yeah, I mean, even now, I don't use any indicators. I just kind of base it off the data here. So the only indicator that I use, and it's not even like really used, it's just used to identify the direction of price or direction of your entry, is my momentum, right? This isn't our catalyst for entry. It's just to identify which direction to be trading in. So I'm pretty excited for what's to come, guys. I mean, this has been a crazy month for us. I don't think I've ever had a month this big before. It's probably my biggest month ever. And we always talk about this. My goal for the year was to hit 1 million, and I'm almost there. 952. This is gross though, so I got a ways to go for my net, but gross profits, I'm almost there for the year. This is probably going to be my biggest year yet, trading, which I'm super excited because this is I get to share this with you guys. It sucks when you trade solo. If you're trading by yourself or you don't have like anybody to really talk to about trading, it sucks because like it's a pretty big milestone for me specifically. I've been trading for a long time. The thing is now it's all about multiplying, right? I'm scaling. I have the hedge fund now. So right now, the hedge fund is not currently open to the public. It's going to open this week. I'm just waiting for the NFA to produce my fingerprints. Um, but yeah, once that's what, because right now, see, this is how much profit I'm locking in. But when I have like, 100 clients, this is gonna be like times 100. So instead of 34,000, this will be like 340,000. It's gonna be pretty crazy, how much more profit I'll be locking in, not just for me, but for the hedge fund clients. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be pretty fun to see how this year progresses over time. But anyways, guys, the next entry right here is going to be at 751. It's going to be, we're looking for a possible sell here. So what we're looking for is a reversal, basically. We got price coming up right now. I'm looking for a possible sell signal to come up and reverse down further, right? Ideally, that's what I'm looking for. If we don't get that, it's completely fine. I'm not going to force any trades here, but ideally, that's kind of what I want to look for here. I'm looking for price to push up and then provide a sell signal up here, right? And then turn back to the downside and then ride this down further. I'm only looking for a sell here. I already predetermined my direction of entry. So let's go back over here to my list of trades. Right here at 751, I'm going with momentum and I'm only aiming for a sell. So if a buy entry comes here, I'm not going to take it. All right, Brock's done for the day. Brock said, see you guys. Let me focus on getting myself ready to trade. Thanks for the call, Sean. Yeah, definitely, Brock. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Here's Lila's profits. Nice work, Lila. Again, if you guys want to post your profits, Lila shares her profits every single day for the most part, and she keeps killing it, right? The more and more she shares her profits, the more and more profitable she is by the day. So, by sharing your profits, it's not necessarily to show off. It's really to just boost your confidence, right? Like if you look at Lila's profits here, she locked in 1,524. So great work right there, Lila. She locked in 1,524. And it's just really manifesting, right? Like Lila over here, she posts her profits almost every day. She locked 1,500 there. The day before that, she locked in 2,056. The day before that, she locked in where's the profits at? She locked in 1,045. So see, the thing with Lila is she's manifesting her profits, right? She posts her profits every day, not to show off, but to believe that tomorrow she's going to make more profits. So if you guys have been posting your profits, look at these profits every single day. Lila, 1,900, 1,100, 2,200. Every day she posts her profits, 1,045. It's not to show off, it's because she wants confidence tomorrow to take more trades and continue to keep winning over and over again. So, post your wins, post your losses, whatever it may be. Sometimes you kind of just need that what's it called? You just need that confidence booster, right? You need to not be scared when you trade. Because if you trade scared, you're probably gonna make mistakes. You're probably just gonna miss trades altogether. So today so far, guys, a couple good entries here. I mean, the breakout hit as well. I forgot to add that to the list. So the breakout over here hit for 50 points. If you guys took that, if you guys took the orb over here, it hit for like 100 points for visual. It didn't come back for the retest, so the retest never filled. And then over here for the algo entries, there's three entries that came up. 627 pre-market, full TP for 40 points. This one that we took over here at 635, full TP for 40 points. And then another one right here at 733, which I was anticipating to take, but it just didn't meet my criteria with the profitability or probability. Not I keep saying profitability, but it's really just probability of the trade. So I'm looking over here at the 751 entry, guys. It's not looking like it's going to set up. So unfortunately, it does not look like I'm going to have a second trade for the day, which is completely fine, right? I have my setup here. I already know what I'm looking for. If my setup doesn't come, then I'm not taking it. If you guys do want to take the trade here, it's going to be a buy. The buys here aren't necessarily bad, right? They're okay. They still have a 55.56% probability of it hitting. So you do have decent probabilities on your side. I personally would like it to be above 65 at least. And if we're looking singular, for the longer
Connection
short positions and connection loss with NinjaTrader, that's another reason for me not to take any trades here. Looks like I'm having connection issues again. So let's see. Let's see. Question from Daniel. Daniel's asking, I wonder what the tax implications are for take profits from our trading LLC and invest into a hedge fund. Um, I mean, there really isn't tax implications per se. Daniel, because they're going to be separate, right? I mean, they're sort of separate. I mean, it depends on like what you're doing, right? So, for example, if you're trading with a prop firm like Apex and you have it registered as an LLC, like where your profits should be taken from, those profits are going to land within your LLC, right? And then if you want to invest into the hedge fund, they don't necessarily count as expenses because the thing is you're going to be trading your own account, right? With the hedge fund, it's your account, so they're going to give you another 1099. So it doesn't really there's no implications because they're separate. So here I'll kind of put this here separately. So trading with prop firm via LLC, profits 1099 to business LLC. Trading with hedge fund, it's a personal account, 1099 to personal. So it doesn't really there's not really any implications, right? Or you can trade as a business too. So see the difference here, Daniel? It's the same thing. I mean, if you're trading with prop firm like Apex, like for me, I have my all my prop accounts are linked to my personal or to my business. So basically, you get a 1099 to Kodi Kai trades or whatever, right? Over here, when you're with the hedge fund, you have a personal account, so it's going to be addressed to you, say Daniel. So you basically get another 1099. You just can't take the deductions. The only difference here is if you're trading under a business account, which you can do, you like say you have another, you can have these sent to the same business, right? Yeah, so you can have them sent to the same business. Like you can have your prop account sent to Daniel Lee Trading, right? And then for a hedge fund, you can have a business account and have that linked to Daniel Lee Trading as well. And then you could have you can have the deductions from your business. So the main difference here is really you're just going to have it's either going to be addressed to you personally or to your business account. Or you can do both, right? You can have two accounts with the hedge fund. You can have one personal account, you can have one business account. We can link both of them. So yeah, exactly. So I'm not really taking your funds. It's linked to my account. In the future, we're probably going to have, a traditional type hedge fund where I will be like more of a pool operator. We'll put all the funds into one big pool. But right now, I'm not at that. I don't have that licensing yet. I'm going to be licensed as a commodity trading advisor where I can manage accounts, but I can't touch your money, basically. Like you have full control of your money. You're just paying a service fee for the service. All right, guys. So I think I might be done for the day. I didn't take this entry right here, of course. Like we talked about, I was looking for a sell. This was not a sell entry. It was supposed to be with momentum. Momentum here was for a buy. And I'm glad I didn't take it because it looks like it would have gotten stopped out. Here, let's just mark this up real quick, just kind of see where it was at. Yeah, it looks like it spiked it out and now it's pushing back up. This is exactly what we were worried about today. We talked about this time and time again, that because of the volatility here being kind of irregular, it's easy for it to spike you out and then shoot straight to target. So no entry for me there. But yeah, guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, we've been on the session since 6 o'clock. I'm kind of getting tired because I've been on here for a while. Um, But yeah, I'm gonna run the algo again for tomorrow. If you guys are in the premium, if you guys want this list of trades, make sure that you're part of the premium here on the Discord. I post it under algo right here. Every night I post all my trades. I post all my trades with the probabilities with direction, and then my direction of taking the trade. I used to post this in the announcements, but now it's just for the premium, of course, because these trades are too powerful. Like, we can't, we shouldn't be sharing this with the public. But I'm glad that you guys here are with me and you guys are taking these trades. So pretty solid. Let's see. Cern said, did you see the Goldman equity trade turnover? No, I haven't, Cern. Was there an article about that? Probably take a look. I'll just Google it. Elad is up 44,720 for today, total against across all the accounts, halfway to get funded. Nice work, Elad. You and Sam, I don't know if Sam's here right now, but Sam is killing it too. I know he talked to me. He made like I think 2,000 or 3,000 per account yesterday. So he's like just like one more trading day or a couple more trading days from passing. So nice work for you guys a lot. It's always exciting to see people here that I see in person, right? Like a lot of you guys here, we're friends online, of course, because we trade on the internet. But a lot of, I know a lot from in person and Sam, of course, you guys are killing it. And it's cool to see you guys excited about trading because before, I never really talked trading with people in person very much. And it's nice to see that you guys are here killing it using my systems and stuff like that. It's always good to pass on the skill and see you guys actually kill it. So nice work a lot. I think, did you have a question here? Let's see. Okay, I'll answer your questions in a little bit once we get off this live. But I think this might be it for the day, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I think this might be it. So Glenn's asking real quick. He's asking any good trades after 8 o'clock. Here, let's just pull it up for you real quick. So after 8 o'clock, let's go 10. Let's do 10 to let's do the 2 hours after 8 o'clock. The thing is, Powell's gonna speak at 9 o'clock, like what Sam mentioned. So I don't recommend trading after. He's gonna be speaking at 9 o'clock. So you probably don't want to take any trades. The market's gonna be all over the place. Yeah, Fed Chair Powell's gonna be speaking at 9:20. But looking over here at the algo, they're not great. So there's trades that are possible right here. Like there's one at 809, one at 829, but the win rate's not very high, right? We want it to be above 65%. So I would just sit out of the market, Glenn. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we did pretty good today, guys. Looking at our stats for the day, I'm up 34,115. Again, for the month, I'm up 337,000. And then for the year so far, I'm almost at that 1 million goal. I'm at 950. So I need a couple more good trades, and then I'll be at that 1 million maybe by the end of this week. So we'll see. But all right, guys, great trading day altogether. Yeah, CJ said I will definitely be up early tomorrow to do this all over again. They say early bird gets the worm, but this algo is helping us catch the big worms. Yeah, 100% CJ. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. If you guys want access to this algo, let me know. It's not going to be available for much longer. If you guys have access to it now, don't worry. You will keep access to it. It's just this is for the people who wanted to sign up a little later. Um, I'm leaving it open for a couple more days. So. All right, guys, if there's any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys.